What's going on, everybody? It's Mark here, and I want to start a conversation. I want to start a conversation about a lot of things. I don't think players are necessarily happy with the game as a whole, and I would like to start a conversation to see what it's all about. Got several topics I want to cover today. To begin with, though, I would like to start off with sharing where I am with the current league results. I took it upon myself to do the league only with pug groups, blueberries as they were, casual players, matchmaking people, and basically anybody that wanted to join my party to just to have fun. The big one you will see is DARPA, mostly because it's a zero. I have been unable in 18 matchmaking attempts to finish at all DARPA. 18 times. I kept track of all of them. So the big thing that I want to take away from this is I'm not necessarily saying that DARPA is too hard. It's just I think that it's going to be, these types of matches are too hard for matchmaking groups where we can't see what each person is running, not really, until we get started, and then we realize, oh wait, that's not going to work. Or in DARPA's case, more than likely you get to the very end, and you have to face off against just explosions after explosions after explosions, and very quickly you come unraveled, or the group comes unglued. So after spending 18 attempts in there, I really don't know what the answer is on that. I would really hope the developers will take a look at that. But moving right along. The first topic I want to talk about is skills. And generally, I don't think they're very good. We've got a couple of them that are somewhat great. Cooldowns, I think, may be the biggest problem with this. I've got my cooldowns just about maxed out, and I cannot get a lot of things down to where they need to be competitive. I just don't see it. Like Seeker Mines, my Seeker Mines hit for about 2.4 million. Meanwhile, I can crit with my M1A for almost 4 million back to back to back. Now, you can say, well, the upside of that is you've got to be exposed with your M1A, whereas the Seekers, you just sit and cover and toss away. Well, you can only toss every 18 seconds, and if you're using, the skill set, you get the instant cooldown, but even then you have a cooldown on that. So it just doesn't feel very good. None of the damage values feel great. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I can throw out my Seekers, and it seems like every single veteran or perp and above, especially those gold guys, they turn into ninja warriors, and they're doing backflips and somersaults in the middle of everything, in the middle of a sprint coming at you, shooting at you. They can immediately somersault and then go back to shooting at you. That's not good gameplay. I don't know how that needs to be addressed, but I really hope they take a hard look at skills. The only other skill that really stands out in my mind that just seems, completely broken is, of course, the heal bot, our hive. Gentlemen, it's in bad shape. I don't know what they were thinking. I get it. They don't want a Reclaimer build coming back to Division 2, maybe, is what they're thinking. But it has very little sustain. And on top of having very little sustain, it doesn't heal for that much. You're never going to be in a situation where you can out-heal the enemy, or at the very least, keep somebody from dying. And that may be a player skill level, but the big takeaway to that is that in matchmaking groups, it's not going to be there. It's just, there's just no good healing available to us, at least not sustainable healing. I do feel like it could be there, and maybe I'm just nostalgic for my Reclaimer heal build that I had in the Division 1. And I just don't feel happy with it. I don't like where it's at. It feels clunky. In fact, I don't know of a single skill other than maybe the mortar turret or the sniper turret that really feels good. I don't know if I'm sure some people have, but I don't know if you played around with the mortar or the sniper turret, but they're on par. That sniper is something else. I can solo heroics basically no problem. All you got to do is make sure it doesn't get shot. That being said, you look at those guys having, I don't know, maybe I think my mortar has 4 million health. And I'm like, geez, 4 million. That's 2 bursts, 2 or 3 or maybe 4 shotgun bursts. And it's just crazy. I've literally seen my skills shot down by gold bars behind cover, blind firing with a shotgun from probably 60 meters away. They just boom, 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 and bam, your skills are dead. And I'm sitting there why is it that accurate? Now, I have seen an improvement to our blindside accuracy as well, so maybe that's the makeup for it. Still not sure. As far the next thing is basically just gear talents. They're kind of pitiful, guys. There's maybe 4 talents that everybody's running, minus the Dynasty holster. Because, gentlemen, I don't know if you know this or not, but the Dynasty holster applies a burn to any enemy within 20 meters. It just sets them on fire. So basically, if you go into the dark zone without it, you're at a disadvantage. Now, there's going to be the folks that tell you, oh, such and such, that's not the way it works, da-da-da-da-da. It is the way it works. Everybody that's running it's just going to be better. I mean, they're going to get you. I mean, when we get set on fire, it's like our character just goes crazy completely. Everything gets nuked. And I cannot fathom what the developers are thinking on this and why it wasn't looked at during the 8.5 nerf, so to speak, to NPCs. I cannot tell you what's going on there. Some of the guys have laser beams, flamethrowers that hit you from probably 40 meters out. I mean, nowhere feels safe with those guys. And to be honest with you, it kills you 700,000 damage is essentially 3 ticks. If that, maybe. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure. You die so quickly, there's no way to calculate that. I just know that once you're dead and our calculation comes up, it just says that you take 1.2 million damage from the tank. And you're like, well, what the crap? That happened in a blink of an eye. Now, they went on during the 8.5 trying to make the Black Tusk seem less frustrating. And they did make some improvements to the Warhound. I still think they need to take a hard look at explosive damage with them. Because basically that's their thing, is everything's able to apply explosive damage. And it's just coming at you from all sides. I mean, they added a Warhound that has explosive damage. Their little drones A gold drone one-shots you, no matter what. If you're lucky enough to be running just anything with explosive damage, what's 10%? Even if you have 50%, they're still doing probably 500,000 damage, which is almost going to one-shot you no matter what. So where are we at there? I mean, I just don't know, guys. I just don't know. And like I said, I really hope the conversation gets started on that. The next conversation I would like to have, and I would like us to be as civil as possible, is that are players coming back after the ban? The ban was officially lifted, and the general consensus is that people aren't coming back. 14 days rollback was too much for a lot of people. And I don't know what we're going to do about that. Now, you can say, well, they were cheaters. Fine, they were cheaters, and they deserve to have some sort of penalty placed upon them. But maybe the 14-day rollback was too much. It's already been done, so I don't think the conversation of reversing that can come into play. The conversation I would like started is, how do we incentivize maybe not giving, so to speak, but maybe being able to earn more gear? I mean, it's just gear being what it is right now, and maybe the loot algorithm being what it is, we're in a really bad spot. It is tremendously harder for a casual player to gear up than what it is for a hardcore player. So I cannot stress how divided the players are. If you go to any Reddit forum, any Facebook group, just about anybody's little forum, the players don't know where to go. A lot of people like a Dark Souls type experience with the Division, because essentially that's what we had, where people were like, well, every piece of loot is going to be great, and then it's not. And you're like, oh. Or maybe you see somebody sporting the bighorn, and they're like, oh, I got to get me one of them. And then you read that it took them 6 hours to complete, and that's what they got. And it had garbage rolls on it. So as far as the banned players coming back conversation, like I said, I would really like it to be kept civil, but understand that there's nowhere, we can't go back and reverse what happened. We could only move forward as a community. So I would really like everyone to come together and voice their opinions on that. Now, I'm coming to the end of this conversation, and I really hope this touched a lot of people, the right way. But part of me just feels frustrated overall with the game. It feels like we're reliving past mistakes constantly, and that's what's frustrating. I thoroughly enjoy playing the game when it's good, but I've got to be honest with you guys. This game is incredibly tough on casual players. Incredibly tough. Now you can say, well, they need to stay in hard mode. They don't need to touch heroics. How do you get a group for that then? Are you only playing with the same 4 players or the same 3 players all the time? Well, where's the sense of community in that? Are we going to be segregated out into clans to be left, the game to fend for themselves? Because that just means new players have an even worse starting point. So does that mean we're just giving up on all new players? I don't know, guys, but I'd really like to hear from y'all. Anyway, I've been the Maverick. Y'all have been listening. All right, I'm out.